Let's see. Good morning. Give me a sec. I'm waking up. La la la. Alright, guys. It's October 25th. We're gonna. I guess we'll go over the news for the week. My head was all stuffed up yesterday. I don't know. There was something at the beach. My allergies went off. Then I ended up having huge heartburn. I took pills, liquid, Tums, and finally got rid of it. Getting old sucks. Alright, so we'll give it a few minutes for some people to get in the room, and then we will go over news for the week. Let's take a look at the charts real quick. It is 7:55. Boy, sleeping in today killed me. GBP would have been a nice ride down. Euro. I'm just looking real quick, and then we'll go over what we're actually supposed to be looking at. So give me a minute. Alright, so let's bring up the news. First, for news trades this week. I've totally forgot about this one. I didn't even set it up, so I don't know what the result of it was. The next one up is CB Consumer Confidence. Again, this is a hit or miss one, so just be prepared for it. I'm not expecting too much of a whiplash on it, so 6 to 8 pip straddle should work. Remember, if your computer's a little bit slow, last week we did go over the PC cleanup, and if you haven't done that, I would really suggest doing it. But your PC speed will determine how, if you have a tighter straddle, whether it's going to work or get popped open early. So, if you're on Pepperstone, well, let's talk about that. If you're non-US, Pepperstone's great. If you're US, FXCM, neither one has a gap, and the spread stays pretty decent. But this one's going to be a hit or miss. Then we have two speeches, 9:35 and 10:30. I would straddle, but I wouldn't expect to see anything, but I would watch for spikes during this time period, especially when Draghi's speaking. If he has anything important to say, the market can move out of nowhere. Okay, the last one we have is CPI QQ. This is at 7:30 p.m. my time, which is AUD. Now, let's talk about these AUD trades or Japan trades. This one is okay to trade. Reason being is it's far enough in between sessions that we're going to have more than one session open. When we see them at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, I would say pass on them. I have bug. Yeah, I killed a bug on my screen. Sorry. Reason being is the spread's going to get too out of control. And we've seen it happen. So this one's at an okay time. Let's take a look at today's Tuesday. Did I take the garbage out? Yeah, I think I did. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Crude oil inventories at 9:30. We know the deal on that one. Tight straddle. Hope it moves. Again, if you're on live, you may consider whether or not you want to skip these. Yeah, they are fun for demo, and they're good to learn how to use it. But these can be kind of erratic, and a lot of times it's just going to be a small loss on these. Every now and then you're going to get a big win. So what I would do is start watching them and see if they are worth trading. They're a great training tool, but watch them to see if they are worth trading. If you're losing on most of them, they're duds, then don't trade them. But if you're getting, like, I know some of the people on Pepperstone are pulling out a couple pips on some of them, then it's worth it. Thursday, GDP on gross domestic product on GBP, because I can't say GBP, GDP together, it's confusing. That's a decent one. And core durable goods with unemployment claims. So Thursday, we do actually have two that might move, and the rest of it's crap. And Friday, advanced GDP for USD. We can watch that one too. Probably won't move, but let's straddle it just in case. You never know. These forecasts are usually bullshit. And then Sunday, mid-year economic and fiscal outlook. That's at 7:30 on a Sunday. I'd probably skip it. The spread's going to be freaking all over the place. So that sums up for this week on the news. Next, let's take a look at the charts. If we're trading Forex, let's take a look. GBP USD is dropping pretty well. It has been for a while. If we look, the last 3 hours, it's been slowly dropping. What I don't like about it is the pullback's as big as the candle, almost. But, This here, we missed it while bullshitting. But oh well, I'm still waking up. Alright, so let's take a look at it. what do we look at whenever we're reviewing the charts? First thing we're going to look at is average candle size. 5, 3.9, 3.1. So its average candle size, it is moving well enough. Next, what do we want to look at? Renko time. Are the candles moving? This is the 5-minute line right here. The horizontal line is 5, so all our candles have been under 5 minutes, and a shit ton of them under 1 minute. GBP is moving. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna kill my kitty. He's freaking... I'm gonna need to find something to throw at his ass. Leave it alone, kitty. He likes to find the mini blinds now and bat at the cord. Just killing me here. So it is moving well enough. Remember, our initial entry would have been all the way back here. And this week we'll try and get back into re-entry a little bit. Euro USD. Nothing special on it. Let's take a look at over here, though. Candle sizes just barely came up. The last move brought this up. When we looked at it a second ago, it was all below 2. So it's borderline tradable. Renko time, if we look at it, though, it's moving decent comparatively. You'll start noticing that Euro is a slow mover a lot of times. But we have dropped down below the 5-minute mark and 1-minute mark with candles, so it's looking better. UJ, slight upward move here. Everything you can see just went on a little bit of a move. Now, if we look at it on time-wise, though, it's kind of sucky. We had the quick move up, and then candles are stalling out again. Candle size, though, we're about 2 to 3 pips, so we are green on it if you want to trade it. Remember, guys, we use the Renko time and the average candle size to make sure we're not getting in on a pair that to get 5 to 10 pips, you're getting in on a 3-hour trade. Because if it's taking, for instance, like this, 15 minutes to 30 minutes to move this far, like, let's look at this one. Let's say you would have got in when it broke above here. So this was a 5-minute. Here's about a 7, so we're at 79 to 12. And then we get a 15, so we're already at 30 minutes. And then it drops down. So it's like 31. It's like a 30-minute trade just from there to there, where re-entry here, we would have been in and out in about less than a minute. And these 5-minute candles are nothing to worry about, but when I start seeing over 5 minutes on average all over the place, you're just going to be staring at a chart and have a trade open for days. You can do that. That's fine if you want to do it, but I prefer to be in and out real quick. This is USD CHF. It's looking nice going upwards. And again, there was the move up. Candle times all below 5 minutes. It slowed down here a little bit into the 5-minute period. We're at about 2.5 pips on average candle size, so it is a go. It is hitting a resist right here, so we'd want to see if it breaks through. So that pretty much sums up our chart. So if we go back and review real quick, GBP is moving, but we want to watch for a possible reversal right here, because look, we were getting smooth moves, now we're getting red, green, so we might be seeing an upwards turn since we're getting close to the US bell. Candle size is great, and average candle time. This is 1 minute. I mean, this thing is flying. That's probably why I missed it. Now, the other thing is, guys, don't get upset. If you go to a chart and then you come back and you're like, Jesus, look at this drop, but then you look and you're barely seeing anything here, you probably missed it because it was moving super fast. So don't get upset. Just wait for the next setup. Because remember, I mean, I could see the entry point, and now it's already off the screen almost. Next. Like I said, Euro, less and less, dude. Seriously, Euro's got a nice spread, but it's so damn slow. But that's probably why it has a nice spread, because it's slow. Volatility on its shit lately. I can drink coffee. I am freaking overjoyed. Yesterday I couldn't drink coffee because my heartburn was so bad. Let's see. Today's going to be a quick one. If you have questions, make sure you ask them. We'll watch charts for a little bit. Around 9 we do have that news release. But if this is just to answer questions. I did have one question about how to install indicators, and that way I can link the video to them. Guys, remember an EX4 or an MQ4 file? Here, let's just do this so we can explain it. When you get your Indie pack, and I think people forget this because they take breaks, then come back. Oh, this is libraries. I'll bring it onto the screen in a sec. Let me get it there. Okay, there's two types of files. So let's look at this. We don't really care about it, but this one says MQL4 source file. These both share the same name. Neither one of these are executable files. I think we always get somebody who's a little confused on it. All this is this is the source file for this. This one can be edited. This one cannot. So an ex4 file, but it has to go in this directory. So what you do is you do File, Open Data Folder, go to MQL4, Indicators, and you drag and drop your indicators into this folder, then restart MT4, and then they show up in your navigator panel over here. And they show up in your indicators panel here. So hopefully that'll clear up a little confusion there. I'm just trying to cover all the questions I had over the weekend, because yesterday I was not doing anything except dying. Trying to think if there's any other questions. Let me check my emails real quick. There was one about news. Yes, the spreadsheet's very important, guys. If you're confused on the beginning of your news trading, just send me a copy of your spreadsheet. Fill it in, send it to me with your files. All you have to do is do File again, Open Data Folder. This time we go to MQL4 and Files. I don't have anything in here because I have not traded since Friday. Yesterday I was dead. And your files will be there. I'll review that again after the news today. But other than that, we have nothing available for re-entry yet. I'm not jumping into this one because it's kind of just pushing right into this resist. And I'm not trusting it yet. I see a break above. Although if we look over here, see how it hit it and dropped back down a little bit, and here it is again. If we can't see it that way, let's do it this way. That was the close and up. And we'll go with the big candle. So this is just a big wick. So we're kind of waiting on that one. Again, we're getting close to the US bell, so I had a little hesitant to trade. Let's zoom in a little. This right here is holding steady. And if we look at it right here, it is holding. So that's why we're not jumping in on that one. That's another thing. Yes, you can send me your TAPFX charts, guys. It's part of the freaking program. You share, I help. That's how it works. So make sure you share your charts, your spreadsheets, everything you can if you need help. There's no point in being here unless you're going to ask for help. I really want to jump in these, but it's close enough to the bell where I'm kind of hesitant. We'll drop down a little bit just for the fun of it. Candles are all moving fast. We're below the moving average, below it. If we took the trade, that would be our stop loss right here. I really just don't like the way it's looking. I still think we're getting a reversal here coming. But our new support is right here. You could consider it a baby double bottom, whatever you want to consider it. Might check on something real quick. See, we have a close below. Let's see if it rattles back up. See how this one's just iffy. I'm just like, meh. But we're definitely trendy enough where I wouldn't be trading, like trading axis, I wouldn't be using it right now. We're in an upwards trend, pretty much, and a downwards. We're trending. Let's leave it at that. I don't know why I'm fixating on GBP. I'm still not very happy with it either. Euro and blah. We're above it by, hopefully it's 2 pips. It's 1.4, so not quite where I would want to be. I'll probably jump out of this one. I just wanted to do my warm-up trade. Remember, when we're looking at these, we talk about exhaustion. It's been dropping a bit, so that means it's going to need to take a break and come up, if you want to think of it that way, like you're going upstairs, and however you want to think of it. So we might have a little pullback here. And hopefully the pullback doesn't come up to here, and it drops again. We'll see. And this trade, I dropped it to small because it's not really not what I was looking for. I don't like how this is. We did start seeing a pattern again of lower highs and higher lows, blah blah blah. You can tell I'm still a little out of it. Let me get some water because my mouth is really dry. I've been eating Tums like they're candy. So this might be our little pullback here, and we'll see if it'll drop. Again, I'm not going to be too picky on this one, because this looks like it's stalling out, and I'm expecting a reversal here. I'm not even trading a full lot size, because the hell with that. Probably get, I don't know. See how it's just kind of stalling out? Not liking it. Here's our 1 minute. It's still moving quickly. But we don't, I don't know, we'll just leave it here so we can watch it. What is this crap? Sorry, I'm looking in chat. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 forming. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, like I said, we might be getting that upward move I was talking about. That's why I said I probably should have jumped out, but oh well, I didn't. It's a small trade just to do something. Euro's moving upwards. See, that's what worries me. UJ is moving upwards with euros, so they're not moving opposite, which they normally do. And USD CHF still hasn't really busted through the recent daily high. Like I said, if this one goes in profit a little bit, I'll jump out. I'm not expecting too much out of it. I'm going to jump out there. Everything's just kind of, you can see, well, not everything, but that's a bigger pullback than I was expecting. UJ would have been a nice little jump in there. We had a question about re-entry. Right now, I think I can mark a couple re-entries, but give me a sec. This 15-minute crap we wouldn't be in, so the first re-entry I'd see would be like this section here. I'll mark a couple. We're out of the 15 minutes. Candles are starting to speed up. So this would be the first re-entry area. This was all too slow back here. So this would have been a viable first entry, or re-entry, not first entry. Now if we go to USD CHF, re-entry could be in here. But again, we need to pay attention to our support and resist. Look to the left, pay attention to them. Remember I said I didn't get in this one because it just didn't break through it. GBP, let's zoom out one. We'll see where I got in. It was late for a re-entry. Re-entry should have been more along the lines of up here, but again, I didn't like it because this here looked almost like we're getting into a reversal point and we're going flat. So it's starting to fight, or orders are starting to build on the direction. That's why I jumped out. I jumped in, jumped out. It was just kind of a dick-off trade. In a minute I'm going to have to break. I don't even have my laptop set up for the news event. I got to set that up because that's live money. And then I'll boot this one up so we can watch it. Stretchy time. God, I almost feel like I was going to fall over. Yeah, sorry. If you hear me asking random questions, this is because I have Skype, Slack, and this open. Some people still hit me up on Slack, yeah. So. Now, one of the things also that's a warning is price is riding right on the moving average. When it's riding right on the moving average like this, we just want to kind of stay out. Now, I know that sounds like, oh, well, it just broke above the moving average. Well, that's against the trend. But here we could say, well, it broke down below. But it was riding it for a bit. We want to see more like a clear break up and then a clear down. And if we see that we get into trade and it starts hugging it, we want to try and jump out early. If every now and then, I mean, it'll pay off. Like, let's see if it rode it a little bit. But if you look, clear breakdown. So it comes up. Yes, it's riding the MA, but then we get back in our trade because that's re-entry. Get back in the trade, it's re-entry. So let's say here we go. Here's an upwards. We get back in the trade, and it immediately starts riding this. Now let's see if we would have gotten in here if we would have got stopped out. 7.6. So we wouldn't have gotten stopped out. And I'm going to mark this. And this is how so that's our entry point. So we're still riding it, still riding it. I would have jumped out super early here because we were riding the MA and it wasn't doing what I wanted. So we would have jumped out early here. And then I got in again here. It did drop, but remember, here's our second entry. Re-entry is difficult. If you don't have re-entry down, you'll burn through your initial entry profits. So here it was. It started riding the MA, and I jumped out because it's riding the MA. The trade's either going to go your way, or you want to sit there and watch it like a hawk and try and jump out as soon as it's in profit, and then try again on your next re-entry. Like, we could have tried here, but we just got through all this braiding, and I said no, because now we're getting close to the US bell. So we should know. Now we're watching to see if we get a clear run down. But right now, since we're close to the bell, we might have a direction change. We don't know what it's going to do. But obviously, my first entry did not work out. So let's wait and see. Like, this could be a re-entry test and then see right now. So this was a re-entry point. I was talking. Either one of these candles could have been a re-entry point. But it's hugging the MA. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it. It's been hugging the MA this whole time. Again, I got in, got out here because it didn't do what I expected and dropped. So let's say we would have got in. We're already back stuck in a trade that's not doing what we wanted. It only dropped about 3 pips. So we'd be looking for an emergency exit. Get the hell out of it because it didn't run our full take profit. So it's not about... I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Re-entry is going to be a difficult one to explain because when you do re-entry, you really have to watch the chart and be prepared to get out if it doesn't do what you want. And if that means if you feel that you need to take a small loss, then take a small loss, but try not to. Ideally, you would just want to take a small profit. See, now it's doing more what we wanted, so we would have been in here. And that moved quick enough that about here we should have been able to get out between these two if we would have been watching it. So that would have been, what? So that was right around our our target of 10 pips. So even if you miss exit, this thing bounced up, and you're watching this live, and it bounced down, you would have just hit in your take profit. So it's kind of... Now let's watch it again. Okay, so this would have been re-entry, and it's doing what it needs to. Pops up. Now on re-entry on this one, what would we have gotten if we got out? 5.7. It's still got a lot of green in it, but meh. So let's say you didn't get out there, we could sit here and wait for another down. Or if you'd still be slightly in profit here, you could get out now. If you're nervous about it, it's really just learning. What I'm looking for are these quick moves down. I watch and get a quick move down. Watch, get a quick move down, and get out. That's what it's kind of practice. It is a little bit faster paced than the larger time frame charts. And again, you can slow this down if you want to. Let's say this is too fast paced for you. all you have to do is go into your Renko bars and start adjusting the time up a little bit until it's slow enough to your liking. If you adjust to a bigger Renko bar, though, then you need to figure out what the average time for these candles is. I'll show you what I mean by that real quick. So File, New Chart. Let's look at AUD USD. Let's go to 1 minute. I'm going to do Template. We'll do Build 4. We're going to do 4 pip Renko bars. AUD USD, so open offline. And it's only got 62 bars. That could be problematic. Give me a sec. Let's back it off and see if we can get... Let's see how many, if we can fill up those bars a little bit more. What I'm doing is I turn off the auto scroll, then I push page up so that I can push it back to force history to fill up. If you remember, I followed Friday's video, we kind of... Then I reload the EA. This reloads it, and it builds them again. So now if we go to File, let's see if we get more than 62. Now we have 194. That's doable. Template. Okay, so now we reloaded with 4 pip bars. We can see average candle movement's about 2.5, but every one of these candles is taking almost 30 minutes to fill. That'll give you more time, but you know the average time right now, unless AUD USD is moving really slow, it's a really slow mover. We're talking 30 minutes per 4 pip candle in one direction. That's why I settle between 2 and 3 pips. It can help you out. So just play around. And here, give me a second. I'll show you what my settings are, because my settings are ideal to what I'm using and how I trade. This speed might be too fast for you, and if it is, like I said, don't worry about it. Adjust your Renko size. So what am I using? Let's go look. Here's F7. I'm using 20 pip with median Renko. So I'm using 2 pip Renko boxes with median. Median means that they're halved. And let's see if on here I'm running 2 pip. So I'm running 2 pip because that's fast enough for me. Now I could do a 3 pip with a median and see if that slowed it down a little bit if I was missing a lot of trades. But if it's running too fast for you, try adjusting it. I like the Renko median because it's a little bit smoother. That could be this. Again, when you're using it, there's not a set format for this. It's really on how fast you can handle it. The template and the entry and exit, yes, that is set up. But you need to adjust this so it works for you. Because I have one guy who he does 1 pip boxes and they fucking fly. I could not keep up with it. 2 pips sometimes for me is too fast. You can see these right here. Sometimes these are too fast. That doesn't mean just because you change the Renko box sizes the market's going to slow down. These were quick movements, but this was a 1 pip drop down. It's not going to slow down the market for you, but visually what you see on the chart, it lets you get more, how could you say, acclimated to it. So here's the reversal I think that's going to happen that I've been preaching about, and it still hasn't, so I've been looking like an idiot. We got 7 minutes to the bell, so I will probably take a quick break here, guys, and then I will come back. If we have questions, please ask, and we will go from there. I'm going to broadcast up to the news event, and then we'll break. Then I'll take a break after that. And I'm going to go to the bathroom, set up my laptop for the news event. Remember... God, my eyes are all caked. I didn't even wash my face this morning because I was dragging ass. 9 o'clock is consumer confidence for USD. That's what we're going to be taking a look at. That's the one we'll be trading. I will do it USD and Euro USD JPY. USD CHF and Euro USD. So I'm going to straddle 3 pairs for it. And we will see how we do. But give me a few minutes. I need to set up my laptop. On my laptop, I'm only going to do Euro USD and USD JPY. USD CHF makes me a little nervous. But here's the thing, guys. I mean, I do this all the time, but since I have a live and a demo, I can throw USD CHF on there and start recording data and seeing if it is worth trading. It doesn't hurt me to do it. It just takes, what, an extra freaking minute to set it up? So I highly suggest, I mean... trade the majors only, and USDCHF is a major, but it's one that I haven't traded for news. I was sticking to just the four, but now that GBP USD is kind of wonky lately, I'm looking at USDCHF. AUD USD is also a good one you can look at, and USD CAD. Hell, if you're on demo, fucking throw them all up. Have a live account, a demo account. Throw them all up. See what performs the best in your spreadsheet, and you'll start getting. You do it that way, you'll make money. And I don't mean it like. I mean, the more data you have available to you, then you have a better variety of decisions to make. Because, like, right now, GBP USD, and I was so set in my ways, I was only trading 4 pairs. I'm actually a little bit behind the curve, and I can say that because I'm not afraid to admit when I screwed up. I should have been doing the demo, but once I was making money on news, I kind of got lazy. I'll be flat out honest. I started to get freaking lazy. But let me go to the bathroom, set up my laptop, and I'll be back. Let me put up a little note here. Back in 10 US Open. Kicking in. Oh, that's going to look lovely, but oh well. Okay, and I'll be right back, guys. And we'll talk a little bit more about news and the TAPFX. For today, binary, I'm not even going to touch. And I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, cable did drop quite a bit. It's down to what, 1.21? Okay, so let's talk about what's going on right here. We can see that the slow has crossed above several times. It crossed once and then dropped, crossed once and then dropped. What are we waiting on then to get in on this? We're waiting for the fast to move above the slow. That would be safer. We could have taken the immediate entry right here. So that would have been about here, but we would have got stopped out. I believe we would have. Yeah, it's about 10.6 pips. So even if I added the spread onto it, it would have stayed in, but we would have just now gotten back into profit. So be patient, let it run and see what it's going to do. Right now it's a risky trade. And again, it's been risky this whole time because it just hasn't looked right. And we had the US Open coming. We're 4 minutes into the US bell just rang. So it's just kind of be patient, sit and wait what happens. Let's take a look at anything else. Flatlining. UJ moved up and then it kind of died out. We can see right here. Start moving into slower candles. It picked back up a bit. USD still I'm not touching. It hasn't broken free of this support and resist zone. This line right here I would consider a support and resist zone. It just hasn't broken free of it. Cable though, wow, it's just dropping like crazy today. I got some people are pissed off over there. So I said with cable, I mean that would have been a good move. Let's also talk about cable. If you here to you, let me draw it on the chart. You may have missed this. Fuck, the whole section from the green line over, those are all less than 1 minute candles. Everything to the right of this, these are all less than 1 minute candles. This was our first candle over 1 minute. And this one was too. If you miss these trades, guys, don't get excited. Don't get butthurt. Just be patient. I miss them. I mean, I was sitting here watching the chart was the only reason I could say that these were, there was a couple entry opportunities, but again, the whole time I was saying it was risky. Everything else right now is still flat. We got 25 minutes till a news event, so we'll try and bullshit until then. If you got questions, though, remember to hit me up. What I'll do is about 8:50. I'll stop so I can make a break on this since this will give us about an hour of daily recording, and then we'll do the news event separate. So I'll just stop recording and then pop it back up. Again, we're going to do USD CHF, USD JPY, and Euro. That news event too, and this is just something that I mentioned briefly, I'm going to talk about how I've been doing news trading wrong. And I don't mean trading the news wrong. I mean being, in my opinion, from what I've been seeing other people's, I was being too conservative. I really need to take advantage of the fact that I can run demo and live and do some trades on demo and start collecting data on other pairs I typically wouldn't trade. Because again, GBP with its erratic movements, what does that mean? Yes, it's great for scalping, but what it means is a higher than normal spread when we're doing news. And when I stop and restart the recording, I'm going to cover that. Because we can see the spread is just going anywhere from 1.1 up to 1.9. And that's bad news for us, especially on news, because that just gets exaggerated. And it's just, like I said, with the new, I'm going to cover it in the news trading again, but be patient, guys. I mean, it's an easy way to make money if you follow it step by step. There's no reason to go overboard or anything crazy. No questions. Kind of boring so far. Really. Let's see. So we have 0 questions, nothing. Y'all just like listen to me ramble. Again, what I said about entry on this one, there was an initial entry opportunity, but so far it hasn't given us a strong entry. Our moving averages are here. The slow moving average is above the fast. We'd want to see it come above. And again, this is GBP, so I'm not trusting it very much. Let's switch to a... I'm going to switch to a line chart so we can see. See how it's kind of getting rejected? So be patient on these guys. This line is now the 1 minute. It is moving extremely fast. We've got almost 6 pip average candles, so it is moving extremely fast. If this is too fast for you, don't trade it. If it's fine and you get the kick out of this, that's fine, but let's wait for a decent setup, and so far we have yet to see one. I'm going to switch to these so you can see. Hopefully you'll be able to see the little green bar. The fast moving average. I cannot talk today, yeah. At least I'm back to normal. My nose is starting to go stuffy again. Now we're getting a movement up. 20 minutes in. Boy, it broke all its previous. Look to the left, look to the left. There's resist. It's breaking through. What am I talking about? Let's go to the line chart. We got a resist zone right there. I might have missed the trade by drawing that. Now all we have to worry about is getting in on an exhaustion. We have a good swing low. I'm going to jump in, but again, this is GBP USD. I'm doing it small because I don't trust this fucker for shit. Now, here's where we're talking about exhaustion. We just broke through a resist. Do we think it's going to move up a lot? Well, it's got room. We have a little bit of here, and this was a fast mover, so it might not be that strong. And then we have one up here, but this was all less than 1 minute candles still. These are first over 1 minute candles. Now what I expect would happen is it's going to drop down pretty low here. This was the first break up and through, but we'll see. Again, I'm taking this really small because people pay attention more when I open a trade. I know that sounds bad. So what am I looking for to get out of it? Well, I don't want to take the... I would say somewhere around here. If it hits, I'm going to get out. I'm not going to take the... We'll see how it moves. And sorry I'm sniffling so much. I'm trying not to. In South Texas, it's weird because we don't have like winter. We go summer, spring, summer, spring. It's just different cycles of what blooms. And right now we're going into a little bit cooler cycle, so different plants and flowers are blooming. And then it gets hot again, and that dies off, and we get a different set. It's just horrible. But we're in the set where my allergies kind of kick in because since it's a little bit cooler, we get lots of flowers. So remember, this would have been initial entry. Super late on it for me because I was busy drawing this and switching around on the charts. If we would have got in about where we want to... $4.3, so we wouldn't have gotten out yet. Remember, this is about if it's not working out, I think we'll get out around here. We got a little bit of a support area here. And we are there. Let's see what happens. So this is about a... Crap, I'm typing and missing what's going on. So let me get out. See if we can get a little better position on it. One in So I totally missed my exit, so let's just see what happens on it. I was bullshitting on Skype answering a question. I'm going to go ahead and close it. So that was a 9 pip loss. That was no good. I was 5 pips below what I needed to be. Slow moved red. So we know now we're going to stay out of this one. Like I said, this one was a dangerous one. GBP is not... It's not trending anymore. It's more of a range now. Like I said, I did this one small. More people seem to watch when I jump into a trade. So, this is my fuck around. So, we can see here, this was our first initial. If anything, you might have been able to get out for like 4 or 5 pips. The sign to get out would have been this whole support to the left, or resist, support resist zone. I'm just going to start calling them support resist zones. And now we would watch it, because I wouldn't want to jump back in right now. That was like our initial test. We took a little loss. We should have only taken about a 4 pip loss, but I was on Skype. So I totally screwed that up. We got 15 minutes till the news. We'll cut here in 5 minutes. I'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll reset up for news. So the broadcast will end, and then I'll restart it, because I have to give it like 2-3 minutes, otherwise it links the two together. I screwed up and did that a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't figure out where the hell my second video was until I noticed the first one was like 3 hours long, and I was like, oh shit. News, we're going to talk a little bit, in my opinion, after watching everyone else, of how I've been doing it wrong, and talk a little bit about like GBP, why it's a bad one to trade. Just a few random things. Sorry, I'm going off on Skype. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end it right now, and then we'll be back in like 3 minutes. So, and then we'll set up for the news trade. Alright, so I'll see you all in about 3-4 minutes.